at Mayo Experience. Week 9, game previews, spread picks, the whole shebang. Maybe Tim's got some free money for people out there. Geoff Fienberg in studio with me, coming off a devastating Chargers loss and a horrible week, just like me.
I'm not okay. I'm
At
not
all?
okay. I'm not okay.
Were you back at home from the wedding to watch the games, or were you still in Philadelphia?
No, I got home like 5 minutes before kickoff. It was optimal. Great spot. Timed the trip perfectly.
How many cakes got eaten that night?
I ate a lot. Oh, you mean like after the game, or like how many cheesesteaks did I eat in Philly?
Well, both.
I went from place to place eating cheesesteaks. I ate 3 cheesesteaks. And I'll say this, Canada doesn't appreciate whiz like they do in the States. Sunday morning was a horrible wake-up. I had no money on it, but I saw quickly Dustin had the career gag of gags at a World Golf Championship. I knew right then something was going to be wrong with my day. I decided to bet 2 football games, Pat. I bet the Chargers ended horrible. I went to bed, couldn't stand it. I woke up, I bet the Lions plus the points. Unbelievable to not. I am literally drowning. Even when Tim tries to curse the Houston Astros last night, who I have a huge series bet on, and someone personally messaged me, he's like, "Oh my God, Tim ruined our bet." I was worried that me betting it was why it was ruined. I wasn't even worried that Tim could have cursed it. That's how phased I am at the moment.
All right, well, let's bring him in, the third member of the show, certified insane person and founding member of the Alt Wrong. It's Tim Cust.
Tim Cust.
That is not my name, and I don't accept any of those titles.
I've never heard alt wrong before.
Well, it would be Tim, wouldn't it? He's the founding member of the Upside Down 4chan.
I wasn't trying to curse anything. I wanted the Astros to win.
I'm still reeling, not from the controversy of Tim's takes last week, but from the Top Cat revelation.
Oh, you didn't know about that?
No. That still, has me.
Tim's been putting out more polls recently. Soon enough, he's going to come up with the take where he puts out a poll that over 90% of people don't go against him on it. He's even adding, more things to the polls now to try to distribute some of the answers. It's not working.
Is Top Cat, an online dating name for you?
No, it's just a name that people have been calling me for a while.
Never happened.
Top Cat, 28. Use Curtis Martin's number.
The only person that is calling him Top Cat is him in the mirror. That's it.
Not true.
Well, I saw there's a parody Top Cat account.
There's 12 parody Cust accounts, but you can't distinguish between them. They're all equally insane.
This is why I actually need to be verified by Twitter.
Well, you got your 280 back, and then they took it away from me again.
Yeah, but I knew that could happen, so I'm not upset about it this time. I knew it could happen, and it did after a couple of days.
All right, let's recap the picks from last week. I was horrible. I was 4-9. Jeff, you were horrible. You were 2-11. Tim won the week, 8-5, and the coin was 5-8. Bad week all around.
Well, for everyone, but not for me.
No, you pulled back into the lead by 2 games. You took the lead, then fell out of the lead. Now you're in the lead again. You're 50. You're paying the VIG this year. You're 500 at 58-58.
But I also hit my free money.
You did. That's great. So now you're 2-6 with that. That's incredible. Good for you.
Thank you.
So you got some more free money? You got some more free money for us this week?
I do, and I hit my SUPERLOCK, so I had a pretty good week.
You did have a good week, and we got to be at Gillette Stadium doing the live show, so that was fun.
That was fantastic. If only the Chargers had won.
Yes, that would have been nice, or covered.
Then you would have lost your free money.
That's okay. I would have happily given away the free money to see the Patriots lose.
If you want Jeff's record for the year, you have to DM him. That's what he told me. You
don't
want it announced.
No, you don't. No, that'll just ruin the show.
What, if I say the record?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a part of the cheat sheet, so people are going to be able to read it at facebook.com/thepme.
That's fine.
The coin is 57 and 59 for the year.
I promise you, if I had a bad record and I said don't say it out loud, you would definitely say it out loud.
I'd probably even fudge it to make you seem better, because I'm looking out for you in that sense.
Thank God I'm only betting 12% of these games, but still losing those.
Yeah, well, no one's betting every game every week. Only crazy.
This is why I don't do the pools where it's I like the Super Sevens or the Pick Fives,
where you
get a sort of nitpick out of it. The ones where it's pick every game with the spread. In my history of doing those, I always found it was someone's girlfriend. I remember I did one. I feel like it was Drew's fiance or something that would win that sort of thing. So that's why I hate those pools.
We finally went 5-2 in Super 7, so I can't complain.
Hey, your first winning week when you didn't have to make the picks. Congratulations.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that something?
I believe I'm still way ahead of you in that.
Oh yeah, I can't catch you. I just hope you do well.
Oh, God. I'm going to come dead last. Now he's going to catch me. Wishing me well. That's terrible news. Anyway, let's get into the games. Thursday nighter, Tim, Buffalo at your New York Jets. The Jumbo Jets are 3-point dogs at home. They have covered every home dog spread this season. Now, we got it wrong on the show last week. We all took the Jets at plus 4.5. That line moved to like 6.5 by kickoff, and then they covered that because they lost by 5.
Yeah, wasn't
Makes
that fun?
perfect sense.
It's hard to explain this Jets team. I mean, the AFC is so weak that if this Jets team was just slightly better coached, they'd be 6-2 or 5-3 right now. It's so frustrating that they're 3-5 and that they're a significantly better team than the record, but they've given away 3 games in a row. And their season is, if you're 3-5, you're out of the playoffs. I'm sorry. There's no run for you at that point.
He's trying
You're
to
done.
reverse curse here, by the way.
No. You're done at this point if you're 3-5. It's unfortunate.
I don't think you are.
I'll say this: as someone whose team is 3-5, I hold out hope to get to 5-5, and then it's game on in this AFC.
No, I appreciate that. Chargers are done. Jets are done. The sooner we accept that reality.
Listen. The Chargers were on a bye. I didn't want to go into Chargers radio today.
Yeah, let's not.
But I don't understand. In this AFC, you win 2 coin flips and you're right back in it. So here's
Jets. You're 3-5. You're done. I'm sorry.
You see, the Jets are done because Tim said they would win 10 games, and I don't think they're going to win 10 games.
Tim, do you want to bet me who will win more games, Chargers or Jets?
I suspect the Chargers will. No,
now they won't.
I don't know how.
Here's
the Jets are in the tailspin ever since the ref stole that game from them against the Patriots. I knew this was going to happen.
The Jets are in a tailspin.
The ref stole a game that they would have been tied in theoretically if stuff had broke the same way. Yeah, that was an automatic win, though. Thanks.
Well,
this is a terrible spot for the Buffalo Bills, may I say. The Bills are the luckiest team in the NFL. Their turnover ratio is not sustainable.
Okay, just stop for a second. So the Bills are whenever we talk, when they're not playing the Jets, the Bills are great. They have a great defense. The Bills are really good. Now they're playing the Jets. They're the luckiest team in football, and of course they're going to lose. Which one is it?
Whichever is the most convenient narrative for me.
I'll give him that the Bills have been an incredibly lucky team.
That is what we have been saying. Tim has said the opposite of this every single week.
I agree. Now, as it pertains to tonight, I will say I want to give the Jets credit in the sense that they keep losing these heartbreakers.
Because they're not good.
But I've expected them to literally, since that New England game, the last 2 weeks, a part of me thought that they might get, annihilated. Just completely they've run into that wall. And they keep giving a really quality effort.
Until the last 10 minutes of the game.
Tonight is a horrible spot for the Buffalo Bills. I think the Bills win a 1-point game, which makes me really not want to touch this game. And I'm still hesitant to even pick a side on the 3, but I did guess the score would be 17-16.
You don't happen to have a coin in your pocket, do you?
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
I got a coin. I can flip it.
All right, yeah, you flip the coin.
Okay, I will flip it.
All right, so heads for home. Remember that. That's an easy one. And away is tails.
Okay.
All right, so who is the coin taking in the Thursday night matchup?
That's the queen, so heads.
So the Jets get the home.
The Jets, and I'm going to take the Jets too, and we're going to tease the New York Jets up to 10.5 as the first leg of a 7-point money line parlay.
We have the queen. We honor the monarchy up here in Canada.
The monarch! Look under the M for monarch. And if that's not there, you can look under T for the monarch.
I have to kind of just blindly take the Jets. It's a game I want to plug my nose.
Screw it. I think Buffalo wins by 20. I just do. Short week. The Bills are better. The Bills will run the ball down their throats.
Another reason the Jets are in deep trouble is that this is their last divisional game until Week 17. They're out of divisional games. So they have basically... They can't catch up in division anymore.
Well, the Jets were in real trouble when you became a fan of them. I feel like that was the breaking point.
Yeah, whereas Buffalo and Miami play each other in Week 15 and 17, and they play New England in Weeks 13 and 16. Everyone in the AFC East has massively backloaded divisional games except for the Jets.
All right, so you guys are all going Jets. I'm going Buffalo.
Yeah, I hate this game though.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I kind of do like it. I really think the Bills win.
Yeah, listen, by the time this thing goes off, I could bet the Bills, but for the purpose of this, I feel like the 3-point home dog, we saw it last Thursday. Did we not?
3-point home dog?
No, the Dolphins were taking the 3, but I don't know. This one seems weird. It's telling me to take the Jets, but this is a plug your nose.
All right.
All green everything tonight for the Jets in the color rush.
Yeah, you gonna have your hat on, Tim?
Of course I will. I mean, I'm still supporting the team, even though I know we're done.
But I'm taking them to cover the spread.
They were always done, and then like in week 2, you decided they could win 10 games.
Well, they're just going to do what they can now to sort of like provide the New England Patriots the easiest path forward, I guess.
All right. Sunday games. Atlanta at Carolina. Carolina is a 1-point favorite at home. Carolina coming off a big super lock win for me. That's the only thing that I'm doing well this year is my super locks. But Carolina is like a schizophrenic team. Like, they're really good one week, then they're really bad one week. Tim and I talked about this on the Sunday morning show, that with the high winds in Tampa Bay for the game last week, just anytime you see winds above like 20 miles per hour, bet the under in that game. Rain doesn't really seem to make a difference. Like, even in the torrential downpour in New York, it's not like the Falcons and Jets didn't score points. Wind has a real effect on the game. If Atlanta loses this game, they're done, aren't they?
Pretty much. I mean, we know already 5 of the 6 NFC playoff teams. They're in the barn. The only question is who will be the last wildcard team.
I like how he's making these bold proclamations. Week 9.
And it's going to be between one of the... Well, listen. The Vikings are going to win their division. That's pretty obvious. The Saints are going to win their division.
No, I don't think that the Saints are just some sort of lock. I don't think they're that good. They almost just lost to Chicago.
I think they're essentially a lock. And we know
Bad
that
news
we're going
for
to have
Saints.
Philadelphia and either Seattle or the Rams. And both of those 2 teams are in. So all we're left with is that last wild card. And it's either going to be Carolina or Atlanta. I don't see anybody else as a legitimate threat. So this game is huge. And I like the Falcons to win the game. I don't think Carolina has the offensive power. I know that Carolina does not have the offensive power to keep up if Atlanta gets up and down the field. I can imagine just more ways for the Falcons to win this game than the Panthers to win this game. So you give me a point, I'll take the Falcons.
I mean, Carolina's defense is substantially better than Atlanta's.
Sure.
So that's a thing. And I don't think that losing Calvin Benjamin really hurts them all that much.
They went to the Super Bowl without him.
Yeah. He's all right, and they have Funches, his replicon.
I like Atlanta. That's another tight one.
It's a coin flip game. What does the coin say, Tim?
The coin likes... That's tails, so they like the Falcons.
Oh, so you guys are tailing the coin here. I can't figure out Carolina. I had them last week just because I think that Tampa was in a bad spot. Jameis was banged up, and the defense was good enough that it could really stymie Jameis, and it did. In this spot, like, Atlanta's defense isn't all that good. Matt Ryan kind of sucks. He's poor Leander curse. That's not good. As Tim would say, that he'd be just as good as last season. That turned out not to be the case. Is this just the season from hell for the Falcons? Like, maybe they don't turn it around?
I don't know about that. I think they still have not lost a game this season to an NFC team.
That is true.
They're still in fantastic position to make the playoffs because every tiebreaker goes their way right now. So
I would say this also as it pertains to the Falcons, myself included. A lot of people thought that they would come out slow. That didn't happen. They sort of got lucky in September, and they really hit a wall, or that Super Bowl hangover really hit them like a ton of bricks. Or Super Bowl hangover or not, they got hit with a ton of bricks in October. So I'm not shocked by their overall record as it sits here today. If you would have told me in September before the season, this is what their record would be coming into this game.
They deserve some credit for their performance last week. Outdoors in the rain.
I'm done giving them credit. Credit.
Oh, they beat they beat the should be 6-2 Jets according to Jim, the best team in football.
No, they beat a middle of the road Jets team outdoors in a blinding rainstorm. As a dome team, that's actually kind of impressive, and they came back from
a desperate team with talent that was beyond desperate for a win after 3 straight losses, all of which embarrassing for their own reasons. They were a desperate team last week, in an ugly weather, and they won. But I'm not giving them extra credit for it.
That they beat a crappy Jets team?
Yeah, they don't get any extra credit.
Okay, fine. I think that the Jets are better than you think they are, and the Falcons are a little better than I think you think they are. But
I picked them.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying. I agree. I picked them.
Yeah, we do agree, and so does the coin.
I'm going to go with Carolina.
Jeez.
I think Carolina's better. Just overall that they're better. They can hopefully run the ball a little bit here. If it comes down to a situation where they need 3 yards, I just think Cam keeps the ball himself and runs it. Like, I can see them winning this game. They're at home. I mean, if this is played on a neutral site, they're saying Atlanta's a better team. Maybe that's true, but I think it is basically a coin flip. I'll just take Carolina. I like Cam more than I like Matt Ryan. Baltimore at Tennessee. Tennessee 5-point favorites at home. Can anyone figure out the Ravens? Anyone?
Well, I don't even know how to play this game because I still have no idea who's going to play quarterback.
It's probably Flacco's been practicing. So
yeah, fair enough.
So you can't say if your point was just going to be either which way it doesn't matter, then what does it matter?
No, I was going to say either way, it's a tough game to pick because if Mallett's in, I'd be more inclined to take the Ravens. But if Flacco plays, I want the Titans.
So you think that Mallett is better than Flacco?
Assume that Flacco is playing, I'm going to take the Titans minus the 5.
You think that Mallett is better than Flacco?
I think Flacco right now is playing so poorly, and will turn the ball over more. See, Mallett at least knows his limitations.
Does he? Because isn't Ryan Mallett like the stupidest QB in the history of football? I don't think he knows anything.
That's been alleged, but I don't know. I just think Flacco getting out there will make mistakes. The Titans are coming off a bye, so the advantage of the Ravens having the mini bye is sort of neutralized, so that sort of doesn't matter. I don't know. I just think the Titans are the sort of team that doesn't make stupid mistakes, will ground and pound the ball, and will win the game nip and tuck by 10. It'll be a close game, like a 13-3, 16-6, like an ugly game you don't want to watch, but a game the Titans prevail in.
I agree with him.
So you're taking Tennessee as well?
Yeah, it's a weird number. The 5s, I always say, sketchiest number in football.
-5?
Yeah, the books are convinced that you're way better than laying the field goal, but it's like they're nowhere near good enough to be laying the touchdown, so we throw it right in the middle, and it creates this weird area. I do agree with Tim in terms of the type of game that I expect it to be. I just think the Titans find a way to put it over.
Well, I think this really depends on what the total for Tennessee can get to. If they can run the ball and they can score touchdowns, they're going to be fine and easily cover this number. But the big thing is, with Justin Tucker on the other side of the ball, Tennessee's pass defense is horrible. Horrible. So
they'll kick 4 field goals, and then it's will the Titans score 18?
Can the Ravens get it? I mean, the Ravens' defense is pretty good. Let's say they generate a defensive touchdown and kick 3 field goals. They probably cover this game. Or maybe they score, just like last week, they score a Macklin touchdown. And that's their offense, and they move the ball well enough against Tennessee and get stopped because their offense sucks, that they kick 4 49-yard field goals.
4 49-yard field goals that take 5.5 minutes off the clock.
Exactly. And Tennessee's going to be running the ball a ton on the other side, so that's what I'm reading into this game. That's how I can see this game going. And Baltimore's defense is good. And the Titans, shockingly enough, have not been great this season. I feel like the Titans are a bit overrated for what their upside is. They
beat the Browns by field goal. Was it at home or on the road? I'm not even sure.
That was on the road because we talked about the fishy 5, and that was a 5.5 line in that game. But Delaney Walker coming off the bye, not even sure he's 100% healthy yet. But he looks like he's going to play. And DeMarco Murray was dealing with the hamstring. I mean, I could see how they rolled him here. And this game could be a blowout. If they can get up early.
Isn't Baltimore only in blowouts?
Yeah. I can't remember a close game that they've played.
Me neither, at the moment.
Yeah, so maybe
it's a blowout, but the game against Pittsburgh it's like a 10-point game, I think.
Yeah, that was a game where they always had the ball at the 40-yard line.
Midfield, all game, midfield. Yeah, I remember that one well. Everything.
I'm going to take Baltimore here. I think that they can do enough against a bad secondary to kick a bunch of field goals and stay in this game.
I'm riding with Tim, and you're opposite.
I have no faith of a backdoor cover. If they get down by a bunch, game over. And then I'm done. But I think they can keep it close enough with their defense and special teams that they're going to be okay here. Tim, what does the coin say?
The coin likes the Ravens.
And the problem is, Pat, when they're down the touchdown with 4 minutes left, they can't kick the field goal.
That's the problem. What they need to do is be in the game and be up by 3, and then Tennessee scores a touchdown, and that's just the game. 18-14, something stupid like that. Yeah. Cincinnati at Jacksonville. Saxonville, Tim, is -4.5. They have Marcel Darius now. I think after all the trades that happened at the trade deadline, everyone just kind of forgot about that one. But this should help shore up their run defense a little bit. I mean, they have the best pass defense and best pass rush in football. They have the worst run defense in football. If they can fix that a little bit, they're looking good all of a sudden. And Blake Bortles has been super game managey. If I was Jacksonville, I would have signed Brian Hoyer 100% and started him.
I'd have done everything to trade for Eli.
Why Eli? I mean, if Garoppolo was available, given the Jags couldn't have surrendered their first-round pick next year for Garoppolo.
Oh, we'll get to that. I love that for the 49ers. I like, shocker, the wrong side here. The Cincinnati Bengals.
Why do you like the Bengals, Geoff?
The Jaguars have just off the bye, hearing about how awesome they are. I don't think that's good for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Bengals, everyone hates them for good reason. So it's the no logic Bengals. This is going to be a close football game.
I guess the big thing that I would look at is defensively in this game. And everyone bought in, like, DFS-wise on DraftKings last week. It's like, oh, Bengals stack. Like, they're playing Indy. Indy's great. Let's play Mixon. Let's play Dalton. Let's play Green. Andy Dalton sucks. Like, that's a thing. And the Colts have no pass rush, and he looked crappy in that game. The Jags are the only team this week with the top 10 DVOA pass rush. They're number 1 versus a team with a bottom 5 offensive line. That's the Bengals. Like, unless Mixon goes hog wild and finally breaks out, Bengals ain't doing anything on offense. It's just not happening. Like, you're even in a tough situation with, like, A.J. Green. Like, A.J. Green, you're going to start him in fantasy because he's A.J. Green. He can go off at any moment. We've seen Antonio Brown have a good game against Jacksonville. But, like, if you put the over-under at, like, 60 yards, I might be inclined to take the under for him. And if that's going to be the case, they're not going to win this game.
Close game.
The field goal game?
Close game.
Jacksonville's kicker sucks. So that doesn't...
Josh Lambo.
Yeah.
There's a new kicker. He still sucks. I don't think this one's kicked yet.
Oh, he hasn't kicked yet? Well, they've had a propensity to have bad kickers over the years.
They got another bad one.
Well,
they got a kicker the Chargers cut to take the Korean kid that started the year.
Yeah, Kung Fu Woo, according to Tim. That was his name.
I wish it was.
Don't think we'll ever hear from him again? I'll probably give it another
try
somewhere. So you're on Cincinnati. Tim, where are you following on this game? Because I think you've picked against Jacksonville every week.
Well, the Jaguars alternate wins and losses every single week. That's how they do.
So that has to persist. That's a trend.
Doesn't have to persist, but it seems to me that would put Cincinnati in a good spot for the game. It's also important to remember that the Jaguars are not a very good home team. We saw the Titans, for example, absolutely take them apart. We saw the Rams, who only beat them by 10, but you watch that game on the field, it looked like they were significantly better than a 10-point team. So Jacksonville has no home field advantage. I don't know. I just think that when Andy Dalton is not good, but he's still decisively the best quarterback in this game. And if you're going to give me 4.5 points with the Bengals, I'm going to take it. I think the Jags lose because I expect next week the Jaguars to win big. So this week I think they're going to lose.
Who do the Jags play next week?
Excuse me?
They play the Bolts next week.
Oh.
Off our bye.
Yeah, I think that will be ugly.
Jags off a bye, Fournette healthy. I think Fournette just goes crazy and wins them this game. Defense plus Fournette wins games for the Jags. It's going to happen here. Get some short fields after some turnovers from Dalton. You're rattled that he said the Jags are going to beat the Chargers.
Why is this why are we taking an advanced 11-day shot here?
I just looked at their schedule.
Oh, this is
here.
just the math, right? His like, every other.
So
next week they win. Sorry, my bad. I don't know. I'm arguing with your logic.
As a member of the human species, I am able to detect patterns and trends and things, and I have determined
black, red.
No, you know, like Russell Crowe from A Beautiful Mind? Tim is like that guy, except he doesn't actually put patterns together. He just sees crazy things. And
I can't wait for that game. No, I just got like a rush. Do you know why we're going to win that game? It'll be 8 seconds. Gus freaking Bradley. And my defense, if they give a damn about their coordinator, they're going to rock shit up. But that's for next week's show.
All right, I'm taking Jacksonville. What's the coin taking, Tim?
Let's see here.
He's trying to figure out the coin, how to use it.
Oh, God. It likes the Jaguars.
Yes. Me and the coin.
Me and Tim
you and Tim
4
are
for 4 right now.
That's good. I need Tim to be weighed down by the Fienberg stink of the season. Next game.
Is it golf yet?
This is golf coming in. If people have been asking me about the golf betting.
No, we
show.
don't do swing golf.
No, like I do the Draftkings show for Swing Golf, so people can get up to date and keep track of what's going on. But like, we don't do the show until January.
Yeah, and I blindly bet Swing Golf with really
So-
doing nothing. Like
I
no-
do research, but I'm not like I'm 100% in on it come January. Now I'm 100% on
Like,
football.
just as an example, we both took Bubba Watson this week.
Yeah.
That probably meant we did zero research.
I looked
because
into it. I thought Bubba was a good price.
I like
against
the
this field.
number, and this is a course where you can bomb it and do well.
And he's not playing those stupid balls anymore.
Thank you.
That's a big thing. Denver at Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a 9-point favorite at home. I am in a conundrum over this game because I kind of like Denver because I think that Denver's corners and Denver's pass rush can get to Wentz, and we've seen that Wentz over the past 2 weeks, you can get to him. It hasn't really made a difference because they're able to pass all over San Francisco, get up, and then run the ball out. But do I really want to take Brock Osweiler ever? No is the answer to that question, isn't it? Like, why would I try to make a case for Denver that Denver's defense can cover this number for them when I know that Brock's going to be on the other side of the ball throwing like 3 pick sixes? So that's the conundrum I'm in.
I have a really, really strong lean in this game.
Okay?
I think the Broncos are absolutely the play. Someone who I respect a lot.
Yours?
Jeff Ma. No, Jeff Ma was talking about this game.
Who's Jeff
And his
Ma?
point, he's the guy who, like, if you remember, he's like banned from the Vegas books or from playing blackjack. He was a part of that like MIT crew.
Oh, the movie that 21 was based on.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, see, he does
Chicken
sports
dinner.
gambling. He was chatting about this game, and he convinced me totally. He said, "Listen, the Denver Broncos are the anti-Buffalo Bills, and that they are the least lucky team in the NFL. They have a 1.6 turnover ratio in games this year, which is not sustainable. That the advanced numbers say this should be a Philly by 3.5.
Yeah,
game.
but what do the advanced numbers have on turnover ratio and Brock Osweiler as your quarterback?
He literally can't be worse than what Trevor Simeon's been doing out there. In fact,
See, you say that, but I've seen Brock play before.
and I saw Brock. God forbid it. He won a playoff game, and like.
Oh, so he's excellent. So did Mark Sanchez.
I'm just
Mark
saying,
Sanchez is great too.
I don't think he's any worse than Simeon, is my position on
You know,
this.
I take great joy in watching the Denver offense not be able to do a thing, and the cameras go to Ellen on the sideline with his women's visor on.
This game is already down to 7.5.
Yes.
Wow. So I'll take the 9, and I do agree with Tim. I also think this is a time where Philly might win this game, but they're so due to like lollygag a game, and this out of conference versus a team that sucks, that everyone watches on Monday night, that can't move the football. I can't believe I'm riding Tim's coattails. This is so
Short week, going across country to play in the Eastern Time Zone in a 1:00 game with Brock Osweiler as your quarterback. Like, you might be right about Denver, but just that logic, I'm going to circle that and take
I
Philly.
get it. I'm going to tease Denver up to if we put the +9, you get them at 16. I would also.
But you just
recommend-
told us the +9 doesn't exist anymore, so you're kind of giving like a teaser that doesn't exist.
Well,
but then I would take it at the 14.5.
That's fair too. Whatever,
would-
you're just advising to take this over 14.
And I'm
Yeah.
advising the Broncos money line too. I actually do think the Broncos.
Woo!
I actually do think the Broncos are going to win a game.
I can see it. I can absolutely
I-
see it. Defense can win this game for them, but I just think Brock sucks too much. If he has to pass more than 10 times in this game, they probably lose by 40.
Then they're losing.
Like Philly's defense is not great.
Philly's defense is all right.
It's 15th over. Like it's middle of the pack.
Yeah, but they can be taken advantage of deep, and they can give up big passing plays, and that's just not going to happen.
I agree. I just think it's a classic spot where everyone in the world thinks Philadelphia is the best team. We kind of both think Philly's the best team in the NFL, but I think that Denver comes in there and gets them, and it's a interconference game, so maybe Philly's not as focused as they were, having played. I don't know. My gut and the numbers both back up the idea that this is probably a place to play the Broncos.
What does the coin
Going
say?
with Tim's gut.
The coin
You're going with
likes-
Tim's gut?
The coin likes the home team, the Eagles.
All right, me and the coin in simpatico this week. Hot flips you got over there. And you guys, I think I picked against you guys in every single game.
This is bad.
So it's either I'm going to be like 0-13. We'll probably all end up like 500 for the week is how this is going to turn out. Indianapolis at Houston. I don't want to talk too much about this game. However, I'm taking Houston minus 13. Houston puts up points. And I tried to make a case for the Browns against them. It's like, oh, yeah, the Browns will keep this close. Houston's defense isn't all that great. They'll come back, and they'll have a backdoor cover, even just keep it close. And Deshaun Watson, maybe he won't throw for 5 touchdowns a week. Screw that. I'm taking Houston. I think they blow them out.
Tim?
I am never going to lay 13 points with a losing team with a losing record in division. I just think that's very hard to justify. And the Colts looked pretty darn good last week on the road at Cincinnati.
Well, maybe Cincinnati sucks.
Yeah, but you know what? The Texans are under 500. This is not a great team either. They're a decent team. They're not a great team. That's not a team that's making the playoffs.
Oh, Houston, I think Houston's definitely making the playoffs.
I think it's quite unlikely they make the playoffs. So, as it stands here, I just think, and it's a divisional game. A 2-6 team and a 3-4 team, and you expect me to lay 13 points on them? I think that's madness. You give me the Colts.
Why don't you tease them up to 20?
20? No, I'm not going to play that.
Here we go again. It is me, and it is Tim. Of every game we've done so far, this one might be my favorite, Pat. I see too many points here. This is a real big overreaction.
This is a big backdoor cover potential game.
On the line, the advanced line was 9.5-10 on this game, and everyone saw Houston play their asses off in a loss in Seattle. I'll tell you what, that Houston team gave everything they had, and that stuff with the owner and the bullshit and a lot of the comments that I don't care to argue the context of them. Yada, yada, yada. That team gave everything they had in, spite of that incident. They gave it all. And I think this is just, it's not in the tank this week. These are way too many points for the circumstances.
You see, I would go the other way with that. And what Tim brought up, that he doesn't want to lay this many points with the team under 500 because maybe that shows they're not good. I think that the offense for Houston is very good. Obviously it is. They score millions of points every single week. They need to win this game. If they want to make the playoffs, they're not taking the foot off the gas pedal.
Winning the game and winning by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, but do they win games by 3 points? No, they lose games by 3 points. They win games by 50. Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to take the Indy plus 13, you might as well just bet Indy to win.
Get out of here.
I will think that your Texans are the third favorite in the division still.
What are their odds?
Plus 200.
I kind of like that.
Both the Titans and the Jaguars are plus 160.
I need to see the division head-to-head so far and how that works out before I want to fully comment on how I would bet
Houston
that.
lost to the Jags week 1, and Houston waxed Tennessee.
Is there any more proof that Bill O'Brien is an incompetent head coach than the fact he looked at Watson and Savage and said, Savage, you're my man?
No, because he's operating, maybe so, because he was operating under Cust logic, where I've never seen Watson play in the NFL before. He should have to sit a year. That would be what you would have done.
Here's the thing. I don't think he's an idiot because he
quickly realized
was at the forefront. This is the guy we want to draft.
And then when the game's on the line, you run it into the...
That was insane. That between that third and fourth play call, and you could argue the trade they made this week is just a bad sign. To get rid of the guy that's supposed to watch the franchise's back.
But I think...
And I know it was a circumstantial trade with the holdout and things happened that sort of led to that all happening, but I think it sends a bad signal. Nothing to do with this week's game. I still like Indy. I still think this is too many points, though, for this.
Yeah, but I don't think that they need Dwayne Brown. I think Dwayne...
Fine, you could be right.
They don't want to pay Dwayne Brown bigger money. You get something for him now, and with Watson and his mobility, you don't... Mobile quarterbacks don't need the strongest left tackles. Statue quarterbacks need strong left tackles.
Oh, yeah, just look at what the guy Watson was playing last week.
Yeah.
And to that...
Seattle desperately needs offensive line now because they have no good offensive linemen. Yeah. What does the coin say, Tim?
The coin is a head, so it likes the Texans.
Me and the coin versus you and Geoff. That's going to be this week. The Rams coming off the bye at the Giants, minus Janoris Jenkins, who was suspended for team reasons. Plus 3.5, Giants at home. This game, I pointed out to you before we started the show, trickiest game of the week for me. I really want to hammer the Rams here, but plus 3.5 scares me.
It's a hard game, and it's a hard spot. I actually saw a thing. I believe these West to East teams are just 2-5 this year against the spread. So that's one of the big concerns here if you want to support the Rams in this spot. I want to say both teams coming off the bye.
Yeah, but Sterling Shepard will be back for the Giants, but who cares kind of thing. Paul Perkins will be back. Big boost there.
I hate this game.
Yeah, this game sucks. Like, I can see the one thing about the Rams here is that the Giants aren't good. We know that, right?
So they could play like a C game and still...
Yeah, the Giants could play a C game, and we've seen the Rams... We haven't seen it in a bit, but, like, I mean, they came out and curb-stomped Arizona over in London. Like, they can come out, if Gurley gets rolling early, no Jenkins to cover anyone in that secondary. Like, the Rams can put up 45 here,
Now,
I think.
I hope this can get stat corrected, because it kind of caught me really off guard. The Rams are the only team in the league putting up 30 a game?
I gotta say, Houston must be close.
Oh, Houston. Okay, yeah, they've sort of caught heaters.
Remember, Houston did nothing in their first 2 games.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, if we're just taking the last bit, we'd have to include Houston.
The Patriots must be close to that, too.
No, the Patriots aren't scoring. Patriots haven't scored over 24 points in 4 straight weeks.
Yeah, but they're still scoring, but they scored like 45 one week.
I'm saying, I think the Rams might be the only team in the league that are flirting with that 30 points per game mark, and for that alone,
yeah, I
just kind of want to take them. I'll ignore the travel. I have confidence that their coordinator will draw something up to beat this lame duck Giants team to get us over this number. If the Giants win, I'm not shocked at all. It's a game that really grosses me out, but you're asking me to pick it. I don't know, the Rams. Give LA something to cheer about.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams as well.
Me too. Their defense is now rounded into form where it's as good, if not even better, than its offense, which is what we thought it was going to be to start with. So,
well, their defense isn't great. Their pass rush is really good.
Their defense is 4th in DVOA. It is one of the best units in the NFL. It is elite. And
Tim
and his DVOA is one of the great anomalies of our season.
Well, it's only because Tim likes to point to DVOA when it backs up his claims, but when it goes against him, it's like, well, that
doesn't register.
Yeah, that they're wrong on that, though.
Yeah, DVOA overrated until it works for him.
I like DVOA, but it still has it. Like, it still thinks New England is a middling of the pack, 15th.
So you like that?
I think the eye test suggests something different than that, but. You know, it's interesting. The coin is against us. It likes Big Blue in this game.
It likes the home dog?
Yeah.
All right, Tampa Bay at New Orleans. New Orleans has according to Pro Football Focus, Lattimore is the number 1 cover corner in the NFL. Cam Jordan is the number 1 pass rusher in the NFL. Outside of those two guys, their defense still isn't very good, though.
Manti's been playing a decent middle linebacker for them as well. And he's staying healthy.
That's shocking.
Never did that for the Chargers.
No, he was probably too busy out looking for his girlfriend.
All right, simmer down.
Who's going to get... didn't someone on Notre Dame get catfish last week?
No, it's just that he put a Twitter handle up that didn't exist. I'm sure he's mistaken.
Oh, okay. So that you're just going to give him a pass on that?
Yes, I am.
All right. Tampa's looked bad. Tampa's defense isn't very good. Jameis is banged up. He might not make it through this game if they get down and the pressure starts coming at him. We're going to see the Fitzmagic. However, New Orleans has really changed the way that they play offense. Sure, they're the dome team. Sure, they're indoors. But they've made a dramatic shift to becoming a run-first team that's controlling the clock, really pounding it down. And I think that Tampa Bay still has enough offensive weapons that they're going to be able to score on this defense. Lattimore might be good. I don't think he can shut down Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans just might be too big. And if they're concentrating too much on Mike Evans, Cameron Brate's going to run down the middle of the field. Deshaun Jackson might get back deep. Doug Martin can run the ball. I think Tampa Bay covers this number.
I agree.
No, I was not expecting that.
No, I don't know. They've been horrible lately. I don't know. Chicago went in there and kept it close. I think Tampa can.
Do you know why they kept it close? Because Mark Ingram fumbled twice. Because he sucks.
I don't think so.
He did fumble twice.
I don't think he sucks, though.
That's why he fumbled twice. He's just trying to give away games.
Saints in a beatdown.
Saints in a beatdown?
Could this be Fitzpatrick?
It could be. If Fitzpatrick enters this game, the Saints cover.
This is
because they're down by a ton.
Time me and Tim
have deviated.
And if he says Saints in a beatdown, does that mean we're adding to the teaser, Timmy?
Oh yeah, Saints had a pick 'em on it. It's a
yeah. I don't argue with that.
I feel like New Orleans might be fool's gold. I really do.
No, this team is.
I think that they're benefiting from that division just being down, and it's making them look good. They played Green Bay. Green Bay had a backup quarterback. They barely beat Chicago.
But they have a respectable defense, and if you give Drew Brees a respectable defense, he can win the Super Bowl.
Sure,
the Saints team.
But I don't think this Drew Brees is the same Drew Brees as 9 years ago. And I just threw my pen behind the set. That's not good news.
he's moved from being a power pitcher to more of a finesse pitcher. The best. It's like Roger Clemens found a way to do.
Are you calling him the Jamie Moyer of the NFL?
No, I don't know that Jamie Moyer was ever a true power pitcher. But I just think that Breeze has found a way to adapt and sort of reassess the way he quarterbacks that offense. I'm really impressed by this Saints team, and I just think that they're playing really great. And if this defense can keep at this level, oh boy, I think the Saints are one of the hardest outs in the NFL. So, yeah, I like them. Again, I'll lay the 7 with them, and we'll tease them down to a pick.
What is the coin taking?
The coin is coming marching in with me. It likes the Saints.
The first time that you and the coin have been on the same page since Atlanta. So maybe this is one here. Like, I don't know. What do you make of the Saints? Like, do you think that they're this good?
I acknowledged a couple weeks ago that the stats were showing almost 3 weeks ago that the perception was still out there that this is still like that Sean Payton,
like 35 points a
drawn
game,
up on the chalkboard team that can't play defense. That's changed. That has completely changed. Their D-line's got hosses. Their secondary works. They've got a running attack. I just think Tampa finally competes.
Well, it's almost like the Bears last week. Like I took the Saints last week, but I spelled out the case of how the Bears cover that game, and that's basically what happened.
Exactly how that happened.
And I feel stupid for not taking the Bears now after making the case for them, but I can see the same thing with Tampa here. Like Tampa can score points. Especially in a dome. Like last week in the wind, I think was more of an anomaly. But, their defense isn't good. The Saints are going to score points. The Saints do probably win the game, but I think that Tampa can keep up. And with the way that New Orleans tries to run the ball, milk the clock, put their defense into a good situation to succeed, that I just think 7's a lot of points. I don't see them covering a lot of big spreads anymore. They're not a 50-point team. They'll win this game 24-20 kind of thing. Anyway, that's where my mind's at. We have reached the end of the 1 o'clock games, which means we need to do a mini segment of Cust Corner.
Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. He's got the hottest takes with the highest stakes. He should be president of the United States, but it's Cust Corner, it's Cust Corner. Cust Corner, hee 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 hee.
I think we could come up with a different name for it still.
Do we need to?
Top Cat Corner, right?
That's what I've always suggested.
Yeah, but he put out that poll and people said not its name.
And
Self-proclaimed nicknames, Tim. It's like the number one rule. Doesn't work.
I wouldn't say it is self-proclaimed.
But in reality it is, because no one else has ever called you that.
Someone was like, yo, Big Cat, and threw up a high five.
Top Cat.
Top Cat, sorry.
Happens all the time.
So what do you got for us this week?
So this week, usually I either have a list or we talk about a funny anecdote.
I just see him walking around the mall. It's like...
But this week I feel like I have a public service announcement to make for the people.
Oh God!
You see, there's going back to political science. There's 2 ways to represent people, and as the People's Tribune, I am their representative. Now, there's 2 forms of representation. There's the delegate and the trustee. A delegate just does whatever the people ask them to do. They're a rubber stamp without thinking. The trustee model is the idea that the people select you, but they also trust you to use your wit and your guile and your intellect and your smarts to make the best decisions for them, even if they themselves might not agree at the time. That comes back to like Edmund Burke.
Is this why you're the leader of the alt-wrong?
No, so here's an instance where I feel like I must educate the people and must engage in this trustee-style leadership. Because this week there was a whole mess on Twitter around this new emoji that Google uses. Now, Google's emoji for the hamburger puts the slice of cheese at the bottom of the hamburger. This, of course, is the correct way to place cheese on a hamburger.
Has anyone ever done that?
I have seen it done all the time.
No, you haven't, because that doesn't happen.
Google is the most popular website in the world, and its emoji does it this way. It indicates, if nothing else, then that this is far from unconventional. Now, there are obvious reasons why you want to put the cheese on the bottom. First, it acts as a buffer between the burger and the bun to prevent the burger from getting too soggy. Sort of like in Godfather 2 when he says there's a lot of buffers, Senator. You need to have buffers between that juicy meat and the bun. Secondly, that ensures the cheese is not melted melted cheese is the most overrated thing on a hamburger. And this is just science. What is something that's melted or hot? Its molecules are moving around really quickly. It means you can't taste them as well as you can when they're cold and still. You want your slice of cheese on your hamburger to be solid so you can taste the cheese and not have to, so it isn't melted and that the flavor isn't lost. So and the distribution is the same. Again, this is science. Where is your tongue located in your mouth? At the bottom of your mouth. That's where the cheese is. Obviously, you don't want it at the top. You want it at the bottom. So no, the people have been misled, and they have been led astray by this whole theory that you got to melt the cheese on top of the burger, and it needs to be on top. No. It must be on the bottom. It must not be melted, and it is better consumed that way. And if I get a hamburger where the cheese is on top, I flip it upside down, and I take a bite out of it. And, of course, I did a poll about this, and only about 6% of people agreed. And that was disconcerting. This is an instance where the people are mistaken. And I feel it is my obligation as their tribune to correct them. This is a teachable moment so they can learn the correct way to eat a hamburger.
Tim?
I'm here.
You're a fucking maniac.
Why?
Because this is insane. This is why you get the label insane person.
Okay, that's not a reason. That's just...
It is. I mean, you're trying to hype up something that no one does, and you say you turn burgers upside down, which is fucking false, because I've seen you eat burgers, not true. And...
If it has bottom, I will. Yes, so it's on the bottom. I prefer it on the bottom.
You might prefer it. You don't actively put this into practice. You don't eat your burgers upside down. You don't live in fucking Rand McNally.
I flip it.
No, you don't. You don't do that.
I do if there's cheese on it.
You
I
don't.
usually don't go for cheese.
Well, how come at McDonald's, the great burger places, they don't put their cheese on the bottom? Generally speaking, whatever a giant corporation does is what you're with. And I believe that Apple is a bigger company than Google, so therefore Apple, by your logic, would actually have it right.
I said Google's the biggest website in the world.
So, but they're not a bigger company.
Okay. And listen, McDonald's actually does put cheese on the bottom of many of their burgers.
Do they?
For example, the Big Mac. And McDonald's doesn't melt their cheese. So
I feel like they're just too lazy to melt their cheese. And also, if you're going to put cheese on a burger and you're actually like getting a real burger, your Kraft singles is not what you want on it. You want some real cheese.
I'll say this. As someone that only puts cheese and ketchup on his burger, I don't think it really matters.
It does make a difference. So
according to Tim, it makes a big difference.
And I'll say this, like I don't waste toppings. I taste my meat and my cheese.
And I'd also advise, there's lots of people that think that you should toast your bun. Don't do that.
I like toasting the bun.
If the bun is fresh, you don't need to toast it. If it's not fresh, I don't mind giving it a toast.
Well, you should try to eat it fresh or steam it. That's why the filet of fish is the best burger at McDonald's, because they steam the bun. And of course, the perfect way to eat a hamburger is hamburger, caramelized onions, relish, mustard, HP sauce. That is the perfect burger.
HP sauce?
Oh, yeah. That's the perfect burger.
You fucking lost it.
No,
the perfect burger...
You need to get your affairs in order.
Here's the problem. His perfect burger exists at Chili's, but that no longer exists, so I think he's just flawed. Also, I took your advice and tried eating Kit Kats as you suggested. Wrong.
What do you mean wrong?
It's wrong. You don't need it. You don't eat your Kit Kats biting into the bar. It's weird.
Well, I eat the side of it, not the top.
Either way, it's weird.
Well, just you're not used to it, sure, but once you'll realize it's the more economical and proper way to do so.
How is it more economical?
Because you're not breaking it into tiny little pieces and losing fractions of little chocolate here, there, and everywhere by breaking it up. You get a greater chocolate consumption rate. Yeah, this is science. This is just science.
No, I understand, like, a crumb will fall when you crack it. I get that.
Yeah, and you have to crack it 3-4 times. Next thing you know, you've lost all kinds. And it just... and you don't get a full bite of the chocolate bar either. You have just the baton. You know, you take a bite out of it, you get a full mouthful of the bar. No. It's the proper way to do it. So I hope that the people have learned a lesson. I hope that I've instructed them appropriately and that they proceed now that I've taken my job on and sort of taught them.
So I have a question, because it's hard to engage with you because you don't, when you go to a burger place now, like, are you instructing them?
I usually don't get cheese to begin with at the burger place for many reasons.
So you're not even a cheese expert.
So you wasted all this time about you being a trustee and all this crap for something that you don't even do?
Well, it's just like when he gives
make-
his hot take on European society. Doesn't need to go to Europe to figure that out, though.
When I make my
I read about it once. I saw an emoji once.
when I make hamburgers or I'm at a barbecue.
Do you make hamburgers?
Or people say, "Do you want cheese?" I say yes, but then I take the cheese slice and don't put it on the barbecue. Like I put it on the bun myself.
When was the last time you made a burger?
I haven't made one in several months.
Years?
Personally.
I mean, how tough are burgers to make in the microwave, I guess is my question, because you can't use any other you can't use any other method of cooking, so how do you make them in a microwave?
I pan fry them, and actually pan fried hamburgers are the tastiest hamburgers. They really are. They're better than a barbecued hamburger. I'll go to the mattress that's on that.
You don't even know how to use a pan.
I do. I have learned. I can do these things. But again, melted cheese is such a waste. You might as well not have cheese if you're going to melt your cheese. I really believe that. That's why I never get my sub toasted at Subway.
I don't even want to continue talking about this. This is so horribly wrong that I can't even be outraged by it.
That's the thing. It's not even worth being outraged for.
This really does, Tim. Your big thing is that you're a very genuine guy. You have these held beliefs. This seems like you're trolling. It really does. Because this is so fucking ludicrous that it's ridiculous.
That I like my burger the same way that Google does its picture of it. Okay, yeah, that seems real ludicrous. Okay.
You put out your poll.
Really?
No one agreed.
Not nobody. Just it. I guess most people don't do it that way. I think that's a mistake. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm saying they're mistaken.
I'm shocked this is what upset you the most this week.
That upset me quite a bit because I did not expect the ratio to be what
I was hoping you were going to have some travel story, something that happened to you in the airport or just something. But boring cheeseburger.
We went for Chinese food on Sunday night, and we didn't go to Manchu Wok, so Tim was very out of his element.
I was out of my element. I'd never had sticky ginger before. I didn't know that was a thing.
It's like us elitists eat at Chinese food restaurants and not out of styrofoam 3-hole placeholders for little things.
I was fired up to see all the candy corn they had there in Boston.
We went to a CVS and they were selling candy corn.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. Now, I mean, I would tell trip stories, but there aren't any weird, out of the ordinary things that happen to me that riled me up.
Nothing with your hotel service or your bed turned down or the tuck in, tuck out, nothing.
The only weird thing, and Pat will vouch for this, is that the Patriots seem to have 1,000 people working at that stadium who don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, it was really bizarre because we showed up really early.
So
we were there around 7:45 in the morning and just people standing around, not having a fucking clue what's going on. All these people work in the parking lot, just no idea where anything is, presumably what they're doing. A lot of it were really genuinely hilarious Boston accents around, and at the stadium, I never really understood who wore the TB12 stuff, what a stupid brand kind of thing. Apparently, everyone who goes to Patriots games is wearing their Tom Brady gear. I get it because they're Patriots fans. It's the stupidest thing in the world.
I made the reference to Pat. It was like being on that planet in Interstellar where 10 minutes feel like 10 years. I was deep behind enemy lines.
Yeah. I went to the AFC title game there, the one Rivers played on the torn ACL. It was a fine experience.
A lot of fat people wearing Tom Brady jerseys. I don't think Tom Brady would approve of that. Really morbidly obese people.
Well, his whole thing. Do you know, I want to actually go here. Tom Brady went to Augusta with a crew, right, to play at the Master. Yeah. He brought his own freaking lunch.
Yeah. I like to bring my lunch when I go places.
Not at Augusta, you don't do that.
If you're
you can't just accept. He's got to eat his avocado toast everywhere he goes. That's what he was for Halloween.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Tom Brady and you're 40 and you're still doing what you're doing, if you don't stick exactly to your regimen, you can't do what he's doing. You either have to be committed to it or you're not committed to it. That's how diets work.
Then don't eat lunch. You're not bringing your bagged lunch into Augusta.
But the point of it is you have to eat lunch to keep your metabolism going.
Cannot go to Augusta and bring your own lunch.
Apparently you fucking can.
You shouldn't. It's not
shouldn't
cool.
Is one thing.
Well, it really
that you can't do it.
I have no issues with Tom Brady. This is where my issue is.
It's indefensible. It's totally indefensible.
I'm with Tim.
Hi, I'm Tom Brady. I want to continue playing football and make tens of millions of dollars. I have to do this diet in order to do it. That is me sustaining myself.
I think they have a salad at Augusta.
Yeah, but it's probably not. It's probably not. The right. He is on a specific diet here. He controls every single thing that goes into his body. Steroids or not.
He's really annoying. This Brady really annoys me.
I like it. I like the longevity. It's like a lot what Nash was doing when Nash had at the end of his career that he got like an extra 5 years out of playing basketball because he went through the diet, never deviated from it, and it allowed his body to...
And he took like naps on the court during games on the baseline.
It's not going to work. It is a pointless endeavor. I don't care what he does. His diet is not going to determine...
I like him so much less than I did before.
And
I wasn't a Brady hater. I don't care to like Brady Manning. I don't care to argue anything. I have nothing against Brady. Now I do.
Like the Patriots sold their future short this week because they are under the false illusion that Tom Brady will be around 18 months from now. It is highly unlikely he will be a starting quarterback in 18 months.
All right, well, let's get into that game then. Arizona at San Francisco. San Francisco is a 2-point dog at home. They just traded for Jimmy Garoppolo. Go ahead.
I am smitten with this trade. They are going to be the Rams next year with Kyle Shanahan and the team they want. They executed their draft picks this past year perfectly. They're going to be at the top of the board. There's going to be a QB, and guess what they can do? They can take the best skill position player on the board,
or trade all
they can get 4 picks back and get everything they just traded for this quarterback. Everything's a gamble. I think they made the absolute best gamble in football. I know a lot of guys leave New England
and aren't good. That would be my one concern here.
They're not the same. This was a lottery ticket for that pick. That was so... I am so proud of the San Francisco 49ers. I don't know if proud's the right word. It seems like the Patriots, like Belichick said, they sort of took it as long as they could. They're buying into Brady playing much longer, and they felt they had to get something for a guy that's going to be a free agent. But I absolutely love, even if it backfires, even if he's a bust, I will never not love what the 49ers did this week.
No, they get to for like 5 weeks this year, and if he looks absolutely terrible, you don't have to re-sign him. And then you've just used a second-round pick as a complete gamble. Like, it's a perfect trade for San Francisco. Like, there's no downside to it whatsoever.
You use if he sucks, then you use the second-round pick the same way the Browns use every pick.
It's like using your second-round pick on a start. It's like using your second-round pick on a quarterback who, if he were in this year's draft, would go first or second overall. It's a perfect
That's a great point. If Jimmy Garoppolo was like... If free agency worked that they could come in the draft, he would be a top 3 pick in the draft.
Yeah, no, he'd be the number 1 pick. I understand what you're saying, but there's no chance that they get a sample of Jimmy Garoppolo this year and don't re-sign him to big money. They're re-signing him to big money.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to play. They're re-signing him. It's done.
That's the point of making the trade.
Everyone that makes this trade, they made this trade. They evaluated Jimmy Garoppolo against this year's draft class.
Yes.
They're not idiots. Like, they know where they are in the standings. They know, they have an idea who's going to come out. Yes, certain players can stay. I understand that. But that's all part of the process in making that trade, is evaluating this player versus those players.
And I think one of the big things with Garoppolo versus some of the other Patriots quarterbacks that have left, he's going to a very good offensive system that should benefit him. Like, Kyle Shanahan should be able to work with him to put him into the best position possible to make him look good. But I wouldn't be like 100% lock Jimmy Garoppolo's
I'm not there, but
good.
I'm just saying it's a lottery worth paying for that lottery ticket 100 times out of 100, especially if you don't have the quarterback in your organization.
As a fan of the New York Jets, I couldn't be happier to get Jimmy Garoppolo out of that division. I was certain this was going to be Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers with the Patriots. Now they got nothing. Now
I don't even think the Patriots got enough. When you
2 or 3 years from now, the Patriots are going to be lucky to win 4 games.
Sure, but let's calm down that Jimmy Garoppolo is Aaron fucking Rodgers, all right?
I was concerned that he could have been. Because
Why?
I think
Aaron Rodgers is like a top 10 quarterback of all time.
Or you could then say Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck then. Fine. I don't care. I'm talking about continuity between 2 really good quarterbacks. I think Garoppolo is going to be really good, and I'm glad to get him out of New England and away from me and in the other conference. I think, once again, I don't think Bill Belichick's made 2 bad trades this year, and that's all there is to it.
He's made more than a few bad trades because he let some guys go off the D-line that can't get to...
I bet you he regrets the Brissett trade now.
He probably does.
Well, they have Hoyer now.
Yeah, who's not as good as Brissett. Brissett's looking
do we know that Hoyer's not as good as Brissett?
Hoyer's so great that C.J. Beathard took over his job. That's how good Brian Hoyer is. Next.
Sure, but Brian Hoyer wasn't going to be the 49ers quarterback. And the 49ers were much better with Hoyer because Beathard is terrible.
I think Shanahan knows what he's doing. If he's getting
Well, you have to give a look at your backup that you drafted to see if he's any good before you make this trade, don't you?
Just think this was a great move all around for San Francisco. It's an A+.
Does San Francisco have to even get a look at him?
I think that they wanted to see what they had, see if he's any good.
Sure. I think they know. Oh, I mean, I just mean like...
And I think it was a part of their strategy to stop. Like, Hoyer was getting close in some of these games and keeping it competitive.
Yes, sorry, I thought you were talking about Garoppolo. That was my least favorite pick of the entire NFL draft last year. I didn't understand it, but I don't know. He's kind of played better than I thought he would.
Who?
The guy that's been playing for San Francisco.
Beathard sucks.
But
like, he's awful.
You draft a quarterback. Yeah, the guy played at Iowa, dude. They don't throw more than like a 6-yard pass.
I'm saying,
I didn't understand the draft pick to
Hoyer
begin
this
with.
year has been better than Beathard has been.
All right, I like the 49ers in a game that's probably going to be within 3 points.
You think that they're going to get some good momentum here?
I don't think the trade has anything to do with it. I like the fact that they're kind of like saying we're putting Jimmy in a closet because like the worst thing they could do would be distract from this game preparation trying to get Garoppolo ready to play a game. I don't think that would be ridiculous.
Do you think that Jimmy is trapped in the closet?
No.
So Drew Stanton is starting for the Cardinals. Paul mentioned to me earlier, I think the Cardinals are 1-6 versus the spread this year. That ain't right. That ain't no way to live. But
they're going to be 2-6 though.
You're taking Arizona?
Yeah, I am going to take Arizona at home. I think with a week off.
Arizona's not at home.
But I think with a week off, having been at home for a week, that's good for Adrian Peterson. I actually expect him to be good this week because he's had his body rested for 14 days. And that's better than anything the Niners can throw out there. Drew Stanton is not good, but he can still throw to Larry Fitzgerald. And the Niners just don't really have much talent at all. And so it's only 2 points. So at this point, I don't mind laying with the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Cardinals as well. I don't feel super confident about it. The over-under in this game is weirdly high. I think I would go under on that. But I kind of agree with Tim that this is a spot for Adrian Peterson to... I mean, anytime that you want to take Adrian Peterson, you want to take him in games where you expect the Cardinals to win. They can run the ball 25 times. I think they will run the ball 25 times in this game. So I'm going to take Arizona here. I don't love it. But you have to start wondering with San Francisco, are they going to go 0-16? Probably not. So where did their wins come from? This is a winnable game for them. Obviously, if they win, they cover the 2 points. So that's why it would be no Super 7 for me, no lock it in kind of thing, but I'll take Arizona. What's the coin doing?
The coin likes the 49ers.
No, the Niners at home. Geoff, you and the coin. You're teaming up for the first time in a while here. Final point on the Tom Brady diet thing. Don't want to throw too much shade at you guys. You guys aren't ones to comment on diets.
I'm not talking about Will.
That wasn't my point.
It has nothing to do with anything.
But
It's not being a pussy.
He's trying to keep his career. Listen, he's in it for the money. He's in it to play.
So stay fucking home. Don't go to the Mass. Don't go to Augusta if you got to bring your lunch. That's how I feel.
Augusta's one of the few places in America much bigger than Tom Brady.
Just leave your lunch at home. The private chefs that cook for like Bill Gates can make you whatever the F you want. That's how I look at it. And if you're that much of a freak, then ship your freaking thing there. Do not walk in the front door with a lunch bag. It's insulting.
It is not a public course. This is Augusta. If you can't show respect for it, don't play there.
Well, I mean, they invite him to come play because he's a somebody. It sounds like you two are just upset about being losers. Can't play Augusta.
Sure, I am upset I can't play Augusta. Part of me is jealous about that part of it, but it doesn't matter.
Washington
He probably doesn't even fix his divots.
Yeah, he probably has someone to do that for him.
No, like, I get, like, the divots in the fairway, but, like, let's say he hits a nice ball into the green. Like, Tom Brady brings his own lunch. He probably leaves his ball marks on the green.
Definitely. Seems like the sort of guy.
You guys just sound like you're super jealous of his diet and his golf habits.
I have so many more things to be jealous about Tom Brady about than his freaking diet.
It just sounds like you're very upset about his diet. I don't get it. What do you care what he eats?
He repulses me now.
I don't care about his diet. I care about the proselytizing of it. That's
fine.
That he's talking about it? That maybe living a healthier life is something that maybe some people want to do?
A normal, healthy human being should not be eating the way he does.
What are you talking about? He's living like the healthiest lifestyle possible.
He has 5,000 years of human existence.
Did you read the ESPN article?
Yeah.
If he wants to be a weirdo...
You know how normal, healthy people eat? Bags of candy, corn, and cigarettes.
If he wants to eat like... I'm not saying I eat the normal human diet either, but I also accept he doesn't. And, if he wants to eat like a weirdo, that's his right. Go to town. But don't proselytize and say things like, Coca-Cola is poison. Like, that is what insane.
Well, Coca-Cola is poison. I won't bug him for saying that. I can acknowledge that.
No,
but
it's not.
It's bringing your. I draw the line at bringing your lunch bag to the Masters. That's where.
He's not playing in the fucking Masters. He's just playing a round at Augusta.
Exactly, and there's a.
And also, Tiger brings sandwiches with him when he's walking around Augusta. All the players do.
And guess what? Those sandwiches are probably made at Augusta by the Augusta staff.
Probably not. Tiger probably has his own private chef.
I guarantee you they're...
Okay, fine, you're right. When they are... When he stays at his... Okay. Yes, the players have their...
And when Keegan used to be invited to Augusta, Pepsi's going around, hiding Pepsi's around the course.
I wonder what he would do at the Masters, hiding I wonder if they actually hid Pepsi's there. Damn, there was one more thing on this that I wanted to say, but... Yeah. Oh, I love Tom. Me and Tom got one thing in common. We both love Uggs.
Oh, you're a big Uggs man?
Yeah. Like, when you, comment on, I'm not wearing them today, but, man slippers, I'll wear them. All
right. Washington at Seattle. Seattle is a 7-point favorite at home, coming off a big win against Houston. What's Seattle's record now? Are they, 5-2?
I don't know. When everyone was down on this team, I still believed in them. Their O-line sucks. They've kind of persevered. Although, I'm going to say this. Without Earl Thomas... This is a game Washington can cover, and they can backdoor it. So I'll take the 7.
You're going to take the 7, take Washington?
Yeah.
Tim, where are you going?
We are going to take the Seattle Seahawks in this game. I think Washington is DOA. And we're going to tease the Seahawks down to a pick'em to round out that teaser. I just think Washington's season was on the line last week. They'd lost to Philly twice. Now they've lost to Dallas. They can't win the division now. Everything is going sideways. Now they've got to go into Seattle, a really tough place to play ball. I think you want nothing to do with this team. I think the Seahawks win it pretty comfortably.
I actually have a little disclaimer here. I like Washington, but if they're in the same offensive tackle situation as last week, I can't.
So if Trent Williams isn't back, you're not taking them?
Yeah, not against the Seattle front line. So that would be a big caveat for me in terms of wanting to play this game, and something you really have to pay attention to.
I guess the one thing that kind of dissuades me from taking Seattle here in a rout is Josh Norman's back, yes, but Washington's pass defense has actually been pretty good all season.
And Seattle can't run.
And they can't run the ball.
Shit. They don't even try anymore sometimes.
And that's the whole thing. If Seattle can't get it going through the air quite like they did last week, or even for that 8-minute stretch against the Giants, I just don't know if they score that many points. They might win this game handily 16-10. So I'm going to take Washington on the road. But I'm kind of with you. If they have no one on the offensive line again, it's going to be super difficult for them. What's the coin say?
The coin likes Washington State. That means the Seahawks.
Speaking of Washington State...
Can you not do that when I'm writing down the fucking things?
It likes the Seahawks.
Piece of shit.
Speaking of Washington State, their coach, one of the great philosophers of our modern time, Mike Leach... His big rant this week? Candy corn. Garbage.
That's coming from the guy who locked a kid in a shed.
I think they should lock you in a shed, an all-white shed. Get your padded walls up there. You'd be right at home there.
He put candy corn as, it's like the fruitcake of Christmas.
Well, Tim said he loves fruitcake.
I love fruitcake.
It's
the official flavor of Christmas, in my opinion. More than gingerbread, more than eggnog. We'll talk about that later.
Just like candy corn is better than a Reese's cup. Amazing.
Yeah, I do believe that. And I love fruitcake. The darker the...
Stop with this. I don't want to hear about it anymore. Kansas City at Dallas. Dallas is a 1-point dog at home. Do you believe that Dallas is going to beat Kansas City? Because this is a game where Kareem Hunt can get going again.
I don't. I even saw it as a pick. I mean, now you're getting a point here, not that it matters. It was a pick'em when I last saw it.
No Zeke for Dallas.
I like Kansas City.
I feel like
it's a weird game.
Is everyone just going to bet Kansas? Kansas City seems like a really obvious pick here.
Dallas
am I being trapped by
Dallas
something?
is missing its 2 best players.
Yeah.
Zeke Elliott and Dan Bailey.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Dan Bailey.
I
mean, it's not
so
insignificant.
reliable.
Listen, if I'm going to give Baltimore the cover because I think Justin Tucker's kind of good, I have to take that away from what is probably. I mean, the spread is a 1-point spread. There's a field goal game. If it comes down to not Dan Bailey trying to make field goals, it's a problem.
They got Nugget these days, who played well in that bad weather game last week.
I like Kansas City here. I think Kansas City rules. I just think that Kansas City's on a different level than Dallas. Not that Dallas is bad. I think Kansas City is good, and Yeah, they got kind of back on track against
Short
Denver.
week kind of scares me, but
a
I
little
don't
bit,
know.
but I don't know. I just think that talent-wise, Kansas City is better. And maybe without Zeke around, maybe Dak opens up the offense. Maybe they become a big passing team. Maybe McFadden or Morris can get it going. It's not that big of a deal. I know the offensive line has been playing better for Dallas, but I just think Kansas City's better. Give me Kansas City. Tim, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm with you. I like the Chiefs. I mean, I could see Dallas winning the game. Like, I don't feel strongly about this, but I just do think that even though it's a short week and they're on the road again, I do think that with Dallas losing their best player at the running back position and the Chiefs having one of the most dynamic backs and Tyreek Hill back and healthy, even though he threw a pick last week for reasons that don't make any sense, and Alex Smith, who's still right in the hunt for the MVP. I mean, 16 touchdowns, no interceptions. You can't be playing better football than Alex Smith is right now. I just think the Chiefs should beat him.
What does the coin say? Are we going to have our first round of?
We have a round of. They like the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, so that means Dallas definitely going to win. We don't do well on games where we have unanimous consent across the board.
Feel like that's true.
Sunday nighter, Oakland at Miami.
What a great game.
What's that?
What a great primetime game.
Yeah, so, I mean, per Tim's butt buddy, DVOA, Miami is like the worst 4-3 team in the history of football, so I will take Oakland, because 3 points probably isn't enough.
Gee, both of these teams, man. I don't know.
This is a real hard one, and this is sort of like that home team +3 on Sunday night.
You know everyone's going to bet Oakland.
The public loses its shirt in the afternoon, and Vegas is just going to lick their lips, I feel, as people come onto the Raiders. So
It feels super trappy. But are people in on the Raiders still? Because I feel like a lot of people bet the Raiders to win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And now they're just completely disenfranchised with the Raiders. Now they hate them.
Well,
I think the Raiders, though, their pieces still allow them. They're playing a team that lost 40-0 on national TV the week before, and they have players and pieces that people, whether they're good or not, and I'm not judging the players, that they have name value and cachet. Like your Carrs, your Coopers, your Lynches, Mac. Like they have a star-laden roster to the average fan.
Miami gets Cutler back. They just traded Jai, although I don't think that makes that big of a difference for them. But I just think Oakland's better.
Jai didn't do any homework, I think was the problem.
Like you. You said you never did homework.
I didn't do a lot of it, no. But the thing is, because after that game, Gase came out, he was like furious. And he alluded to his best players putting no work in at home. And then a couple days later,
Ajayi's gone.
For less than they drafted him for.
Yeah.
You would have think Jay Ajayi in the year and a half.
No, they traded a fourth for him, didn't they? Didn't he go in the fifth?
I thought he went in the fourth, but the fourth they're getting, because it's the Eagles, is like potentially higher than where they drafted
I
him.
thought he went in the fifth. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. But
Tim, who you got?
I'm going to take the Dolphins, and this is mostly a play against the Raiders. So the Raiders are now playing their second consecutive road game on the East Coast. On the East Coast, that's a tough double dip.
Well, they got to stay on the East Coast though.
they get their running back, if that matters.
And they're a member of the 3-5 caucus, which means that their season is over. So they've lost a lot. I think they needed to win last week to keep the hope alive.
The Bills and Jags own playoff spots. I want to bet, Tim, that a 3-5 team currently makes the playoffs, but I don't know who all these teams are.
One of them. Apparently, none of them can possibly make it. That would be impossible. So you just bet them all.
I just don't see it happening. And I just think Jay Cutler back is a good thing. And they've had that extended rest from the mini-bye. I like Kenyon Drake a lot, I have to say. I saw the kid play quite a bit at Alabama. I think he's a darn good running back. I think he's going to be perfectly serviceable. I think he actually plays very well. And the Raiders just are not good. I don't know what Oakland does well. I mean, I guess they have a decent offense.
They do everything better than Miami does.
I get that that's true, but at the one thing the Dolphins do well is play at Hard Rock, and that's where the game is. And you're giving me 3 points at home against a Raiders team playing extended trip out west with their season basically cooked and finished. Where the Dolphins go to 5-3, they've still got everything in front of them if they were to win this game. Unfortunately, because they're not a good team either. Give me the fish. I would take them on the money line, and I will take the +3.
Firstly, I do like the Dolphins this week.
Okay.
But you just said the Dolphins play well at Hard Rock.
They do.
They do. They most certainly do not have any kind of home field advantage. And I'll go to a trusted trend. This one goes back a while. This is the Dolphin. Every Dolphin fan will hear this and be like, "That makes so much sense." Dolphins 11-35 ATS at home against teams with losing records.
Since when?
03. That's a long freaking time.
They have been good there the past year and a half.
Yeah.
Good. And I love it, and the renovations look awesome, and it looks awesome even in Madden. And I like the Dolphins here. Tim said it's a play against the Raiders. For me, it's just a play on the spot and the situation and the league that I've watched, even though my record sucks horribly. And I sit there watching these games on Sunday at my buddies with 7 TVs, so I see it all, and I pick nothing right. But 3 points at home. Once the public loses their shirt on Sunday afternoon, I'll take the Dolphins.
Yeah, Miami has lost a meaningful game at home since October 9th of last year. They lost at home in Week 17 against the
They've
Patriots.
only played like once at home this year, I feel.
When they had nothing. They played twice so far this year, both games in Miami. And last year, throwing out Week 17 when the Dolphins had nothing to play for, they haven't lost at home since Week 5 of last season. This Dolphins team is
Sucks.
a pretty darn home team.
This team sucks. They're going to lose to
So-
Oakland by a lot. What's the coin say?
The coin likes the Oakland Raiders.
Perfect. Me and the coin. We know what's up. Monday Nighter. Detroit at Green Bay. Green Bay a 2.5-point dog.
I have no idea what to do with this game.
At home.
I thought we'd
No,
get 3.
Oakland-
Brett Hundley. Back under center.
Why aren't we getting 3?
Why didn't the Packers try to get Brian Hoyer?
No, because Mike McCarthy, the worst coach in the NFL after Todd Bowles, believes in Brett Hundley. Gosh darn it!
Well, maybe a bye week. Maybe some more time to get comfortable with the offense. I don't know. Like, Detroit should win this game, shouldn't they?
Yeah, but Detroit's stupid.
Detroit hurt me so much.
With their 7 red zone trips and no touchdowns.
7 red zone trips is one thing. Can we break it down into first and goals inside the 5 that they had? Because I think at least 3 of them.
It's tough. Tough spot.
Oh, I hate this. I want the full 3 to be able to pull the trigger with the Packers.
But at least Pittsburgh's defense is good. The Packers' defense isn't good.
I need a desperate Lions team here.
I think the Lions are okay.
Yeah.
I think the Lions win
I'm
this
with
game.
you. They must be desperate. They gotta win. They gotta win. They got a red zone.
Now, if you can kind of... We don't know if Aaron Rodgers is coming back or not. He's probably not going to come back because the Packers are going to be out of it. However, if the Packers can pile up, like, they can go 500 somehow. And, like, this is a winnable game for them. They could win this game.
Yeah, you're reading my mind. I was just about to make this point, that if you look at their schedule,
They have winnable games.
the Packers are that team that could be that 6th-place wildcard team if, let's say, if Rodgers can get back by Week 16.
Yeah.
They have the Lions this week. That's winnable. Then they play the Bears. Winnable. Ravens. Winnable. At Pittsburgh's probably a loss. Then Tampa, Cleveland, Carolina. If they only lose 2 of those games,
Not even 2. If they go 3-3 through that stretch, what does that put them?
they're currently 3-3. They're currently 4-3. So if they were to lose, so they would be 7-7 going into Week 16. The
7-6 if they're 4-3 right now.
4-3. So if they lose 3 games, they'd be at
Let's just say they go 3-3 over their next 6 games. That gets them to 7-6. Try to get another one. Say they go 4-4 over their next 8. They're now what, 8-7.
8-7 going at the Lions on the last game of the year. Man, that could be for a playoff spot.
I'm going to that game, by the way.
Which one?
That
Packers at Lions on Christmas Eve.
the Packers aren't dead yet. So if the Lions want to get them out, and if the Lions beat them on Monday night, they can more or less put them to the sword. It's a pretty big game in that sense. But I don't know. My gut tells me that is probably what's going to happen. That somehow Rodgers is going to get back by week 15 or week 16, and he's going to grease the Packers into the playoffs, and then all bets are off. So I'm going to take the Packers in this game.
Lions.
Lions? You're going back to the Lions well after last week?
It hurts so much. I didn't sleep well Sunday night.
I could imagine.
Although the baseball game went my way, but I didn't sleep well.
What does the coin think?
The coin likes the road team, so the Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions. The coin is with us, Jeff, and the Lions. Hopefully we can have a good
Yeah.
week.
And Tim, don't you feel like a fool for thinking that football on Sunday night would compete with World Series? Did we lose him?
Yeah, Tim's...
That game had no chance of competing with the World Series.
I think Tim's connection is cursed.
And I mean,
Yeah.
no, the line wasn't great there for a second.
I
think
feel like he's
the reason they
pausing.
The reason they put an interconference game on Sunday night was because they knew it wasn't going to do great ratings to begin with.
What was the discrepancy? in
They
the
beat it
ratings?
by
A lot?
crushed it.
Really?
Crushed it.
What game was game? Was game
5. The crazy
game?
But it was still like it wasn't crazy between like 8 and 11 when it was head to head.
Sure.
But that football game was close too.
Yeah.
It was close, but it's the sort of thing where, I think you mentioned it last week that when we were growing up, they didn't play a Sunday nighter against the World Series. Maybe next year they would be wise to take that Sunday night off again, and let's give the World Series.
They're
this
not
night.
going to do that.
They should. It would
Why?
make a lot of sense.
I'll say one reason why they should.
Because the NBA doesn't play on the championship night of the college
Because
basketball.
that's also the NBA, not the NFL.
I'll
It's
tell
not like
you-
the NFL is getting bad ratings
For
on Sunday
ne-
night prime time.
For next year, I'll tell you why they should. And this is just my bold prediction. We'll put it right now. The New York Yankees will be playing in the World Series, so you do not want to be going head to head with it on any day.
Sure.
That's true.
I don't think that they're going to be at the World Series, but I don't know. Better chance that they're not in the World Series than are in the World Series.
Agreed.
That's a hot take.
All right, let's get to the super locks of the week. I am up to 6-2. Geoff, you are 2-6. Cast, you're 5-3 on the year. Who are you making your super lock?
You talking to me?
Yes.
I'll take the Broncos. What are you going to give me here for a line?
I'll give you the 9. That's what we had it down on the sheet before. When I looked at it this morning, that's what it was.
Yeah, I'll take the Denver Broncos at 9 then.
Jeffrey.
Lost that Charger game last week. It was so hurting. And I'm going to go 5 seconds. We didn't lose that game because of a safety. We lost that game on the first freaking drive when my coach decided to kick a 53-yard field goal versus the Patriots instead of going for 4th and 1.
In the rain.
In the rain with a kicker who's accurate but doesn't have a long leg. I cannot believe. My options right now are the Bengals and the Colts. And that's how shit I am. And I'm going to take the Colts.
I was actually going to take Houston.
Uh-oh. Do it.
So Indy plus 13. I'm actually going to take Kansas City -1. I think Kansas,
I like that too.
I think Kansas. I just think Kansas City wins. So
Yeah.
I will take Kansas City.
Reasonable pick, yeah.
So Tim, why don't you give us your free money of the week?
So it starts tonight. The Jets lay them up to 10.
Over
Can't miss
tonight. By the
Can't
way,
miss that.
maybe I should go back and lock in the Bills. Alternative spread -17.
Then we have the Broncos plus 16. Then you connect the Saints and the Seahawks both at Pick'em.
I'll tell you what. You survived tonight. I'll really like your ticket.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love Denver plus 16. Could go horribly. Like,
Well, because they can't score, right?
That's the
like,
thing.
And you saw it last week.
and they have Brock Osweiler at quarterback. That's not good. Look at DeAndre Hopkins this year versus last year.
Yeah.
Just look at the numbers. Like, it's ridiculous.
The funny thing is, this Denver pick he's giving because someone else like tipped him, like talked him into it too. It doesn't
Yeah, and
feel
I
like
think
it's
that-
his own.
I buy it. I
but it's
completely.
No, I buy everything you're selling for the purposes of picking that game. I got Denver on the 9. And a teaser on paper plus 16 looks fantastic. But it's called a teaser.
Yeah, it'll tease you. And it'll be over tonight anyway when the Jets don't cover the 10. Just like when he threw Kansas City on his free money line parlay 2 weeks ago.
Go Jets. The season may be over, but I still want them to win.
Jeffrey. People can follow you on Twitter at GFienberg17. And, of course, they can always follow on Twitter Tim Cust.
Tim and Cust.
It's not my name.
But they can follow you on Twitter. Not 280 characters, though.
Who knows? It could be by tomorrow. One never knows.
And you get your
at,
week.
At Tim Anderson 87. I am the maven of the internet and a social media cognoscenti.
Just by saying that makes you not.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm actually really good at the Twitters.
You're really not.
I'm pretty good. I know what's up.
Would you say you're better at Twitter than I am?
I would say
Wrong! You are
comparable.
not correct, because you do not use caps like I use caps.
And you have more followers. So, I mean, in the end, I have to give you the benefit because, you're better at Twitter because you have more followers. That's how it works.
I don't know if that's how it works.
The people who are best at Twitter have the most followers if they don't if they got them legitimately.
Why? Trump is the best at Twitter. He doesn't have the most followers.
He's got to be close these days. I bet you he's real close, if not the most.
He might be top 10, but he should be number 1.
He probably should be.
All right, that'll do it on the Pat Mayo Experience. You can follow me at ThePME on Twitter for the cheat sheet. Go to facebook.com/ThePME. To grab everything up there, the running content for the week. Also, you can subscribe to the audio podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Audio Boom. For the video version, of course, you can go to the Draftkings YouTube page and check it out all up there, uncensored, uncut, always free of charge. I'm Pat Mayo. Good luck in Week 9. I'll see you next time.